The wicker basket sat on the kitchen counter, its cellophane wrap glinting under the fluorescent light, mocking me. Inside, a bottle of Merlot nestled against artisanal chocolates and a card I'd scribbled in a haze of gratitude. To Mrs. Carter, for your husband's dedication to my wife's strength. My fingers trembled as I stared at it now, the words souring in my mind. 3 hours ago I dropped it off at their doorstep, a naive gesture of appreciation. Now my phone buzzed with a voicemail from an unknown number. A woman's voice, shrill, fractured, accusing. You think this is a game? You think I don't know? My stomach churned. The basket, meant to thank my wife's trainer for his attention, had detonated something I hadn't seen coming. I stood frozen in our too-quiet kitchen, the ticking clock a pulse against my temples. Sarah was upstairs, humming in the shower, oblivious to the storm brewing. For weeks, I'd noticed her glow brighter after every session with Jake, her personal trainer. Her laughter sharper, her eyes darting to her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. He's so attentive, she'd said last night, slicing tomatoes for dinner, her voice casual but her cheeks flushed. I'd smiled, proud of her progress, proud of us. We'd been married 8 years, whether job losses and miscarriages, our love a sturdy thing. Or so I thought. The basket was my way of saying thank you to Jake, to his wife, to the universe for keeping Sarah happy. Now that voicemail clawed at my certainty. I replayed it, the woman's voice, presumably Mrs. Carter's, crackling with rage. Ask your wife what attention really means. My knees buckled. I gripped the counter, the cold granite biting my palms. Doubt slithered in, oily and relentless. Had I misread Sarah's late-night texts, her sudden obsession with spin classes, her new perfume that clung to her skin like a secret? I wanted to storm upstairs, demand answers, but my feet wouldn't move. Instead, I sank into a chair, the leather creaking under my weight, and let the memories replay. It started small. A month ago, Sarah came home from the gym, her ponytail loose, her smile too wide. Jake says I'm his best client, she'd said, tossing her gym bag by the door. I'd laughed, teased her about her newfound biceps. But there were other signs, her phone face down during dinner, her quick glances away when I asked about her day. I'd chalked it up to her confidence blooming, to the thrill of feeling strong again after years of grief. Denial is a soft blanket, and I'd wrapped myself in it. Now the voicemail shredded that blanket. I forced myself to move, grabbing my keys. I needed air, answers, something to stop the spiral in my head. The drive to Jake's house was a blur of red lights and honking horns, my knuckles white on the steering wheel. Their house was a modest ranch style, the porch light casting shadows on the basket I'd left hours ago. It was still there, untouched, the card glaring back at me. I parked across the street, heart pounding, and waited. Minutes later, a car pulled into their driveway. Jake stepped out, his broad shoulders unmistakable even in the dim light. Sarah wasn't with him, but my mind conjured her anyway, her laugh, her touch, her lies. Then the front door flew open and a woman stormed out, her voice cutting through the night. You thought I wouldn't find out, she screamed, clutching a phone. Jake raised his hands, placating, but her words were a blade. Her husband sent me a goddamn thank you note, Jake. Her husband. My breath caught. I should have felt vindicated. She knew I wasn't crazy, but instead guilt flooded me. I'd unleashed this chaos, this woman's pain with my stupid basket. I wanted to run, to confront Jake, to beg for it all to be a mistake, but I stayed rooted, a coward in the dark. Back home, Sarah was in her robe, toweling her hair. You're back early, she said, her smile faltering when she saw my face. What's wrong, Tom? Her voice was soft, but there was a flicker in her eyes, fear, maybe guilt. I wanted to scream, to shake her, but instead, I asked, what's Jake to you? Her hands stilled. What? She whispered, but her voice cracked, a hairline fracture in her composure. He's my trainer. You know that. She stepped closer, her damp hair brushing my arm, and I smelled that perfume again, jasmine, sharp and foreign. My chest tightened. Don't lie, I said, quieter than I meant. His wife called. She knows something. What did you do, Sarah? Her eyes widened, and for a moment I saw the woman I loved, vulnerable, mine. Then her face hardened and she turned away, muttering, You're being ridiculous. But I wasn't. The next hour was a slow bleed of truth. She admitted to late-night texts. Just jokes at first, then confessions, her loneliness, his charm. It wasn't physical. she swore, tears streaking her face. It was just attention. But her words felt hollow, and the room spun with my anger, my heartbreak. I wanted to believe her, to salvage us, but the trust was ash. Then the doorbell rang. Jake's wife stood there, mascara streaked, holding the basket. "You forgot this," she spat, shoving it into my arms. "Tell your wife to stay away from my husband." She didn't wait for a reply, just turned and vanished into the night. Sarah sobbed behind me, but I couldn't look at her. The basket hit the floor, wine bottle shattering, red pooling like blood. I walked out, the cold air biting my face, and realized the twist. I'd betrayed her too, in a way, by doubting, by exposing her shame, by breaking our fragile trust first. We were both guilty, both broken, and the pieces of us lay scattered in that kitchen, irreparable.